And there you go. Now, guys, we are, of course, in a Champions Select, as you can plainly see, and the Thresh immediately dropped away from BloodWater, and Vulcun, as we've seen so many times, the red team is banning Nunu away.
Surprise, surprise. No first pick Nunu for you guys. Looks like they have another Jace ban. Pretty much the same thing there. Very much expected. If you're not going to play him, a lot of teams do not like going up against that.
A lot of Freljord bans coming through right now. Actually, the Lissandra dropped away. I mean, we saw that. I mean, that was what Vulcun used. It was the Lissandra Jarvan. Man, was that painful.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if now with the Lissandra ban, if they let Yi go through, and they have so far.
Yeah, they're going to let Yi go through. Also, though, Dignitas didn't ban out Tristana. So Zuna's favorite AD carry there for that guaranteed endgame hyper carry is available. And it looks like, we are going to see that flexibility we were talking about before where, KiWiKiD comes in with that Twisted Fate to the mid lane.
So that's going to be the strategy adaptation here for the Dignitas grouping. Of course, Vulcun getting some favorite picks of their own as well. They locked those in fast. The Shen and the Elise coming through. We've seen them a heck of a lot today, and they're just comfortable picks here. And the same time, I mean, Imaqtpie and Patoy, that was the exact same champions they've picked against Cloud9.
Yeah, and in that game, I was talking about the level 6 burst. It definitely didn't disappoint because as soon as you have that crescendo to lock people in place, Graves can just unload on that target. And that's why we usually see one of those two in the bottom lane take an Ignite. This is one of the few duo lanes that actually run Ignite because they have so much burst potential and they go for that level 6 kill.
So let's see if they can get those damages out there and get the burst going. Early game power definitely here for the Graves, and not so much here for Vulcun if they do go for the Tristana. It is a team that likes to play for the late game. They've got the split push from the Shen to help make that happen. They've got Elise to scale through it as well. Zuna's still liking that Tristana pickup here. The Meglin Gunner used for the late game carry.
Yeah, and Yi still is up, but with already taking Twisted Fate, it's very hard for Twisted Fate to go to one of the long side lanes. So that pretty much guarantees that you're going to have a Twisted Fate middle, and the top laner is probably going to have to be someone who won't get camped so easily. Like we already saw that weakness in Master Yi.
So let's see what they go for right here. The Zed was banned away, so it's a new pick here for Scarra. It's been twice that they've run Zed with the Twisted Fate. They're looking at Diana right now. Scarra definitely no stranger to that champion, but they need a jungler. And heck, Crumbzz is going to say, look, I'll go back to Xin Zhao. Very similar team for Dignitas.
Yes, he loves that Xin Zhao. Even after the nerfs, he said, it's been long enough. I'm returning to my man. And it's pretty good that he does have that knockback because it's a nice extra AoE damage that he can combo after the burst that Imaqtpie and Patoy can provide.
And I've actually seen players with reflexes good enough to actually do knockbacks on Shen ultimates and Renekton Slice and Die. If you can actually get the Crescent Sweep and stop an escape tool, the more power to you. Crumbzz is going to see if you can do it this game around. We talked about reflexes earlier on. It's more than just Smite. So you can get the ults going.
So it's really interesting how you can use that Crescent Streak too, because the person that you're attacking, your target, will get the debuff that they are the only one that won't be knocked away. So if you don't actually attack anyone, then you can knock back everybody and use it as a disengage, or you can single out one target to kill.
And here we go, Vulcun going full late game. The Zuna on Tristana, the mandatory cloud rise, and Vulcun are hoping this game goes as CLG as possible, 40 minutes plus.
As CLG as possible. Yeah, they've just got all the answers late game. We also saw earlier today Shen ultimates trumping the Twisted Fate ultimates coming in for ganks. Every time we had a Twisted Fate come in for the gank, Shen's shield was there to turn it back around, because not only does Shen arrive, but he also brings a big shield to the party.
Yeah, and that's going to be a party that Vulcun might not want to have come in. More of a blanket party than a surprise party. And not the right kind of party you want. Now, of course, Dignitas making their way through the rest of the champion. It works. And so here we go, right? The burst competition is here. It's going to be up to KiWiKiD, I think, to make a lot of early moves. And we're going to see how Scarra does in, I want to say, kind of a junk lane, right? He's going to be chilling at the bottom side with Diana. And it's like, all right, Scarra, just hold on. Do what you can. KiWiKid's going to make a bunch of moves, probably snowball QTPie. See you in 20 minutes.
Yeah. See if you can stop some of those Stand Uniteds. Get in there with that Moonfall, pull him back.
So, interestingly enough, though, I want to talk about some of these matchups because I feel like Vulcun are going to not want to fight heads up in a 2v2. You've got a Poker and Lulu fighting a Sustainer and Sona, which is typically not a great matchup. You've got Tristana, who we've called so many times a weaker laner. You pick her for the late game. I don't think you want to fight a 2v2 there.
So the thing about that, you know, Tristana early game weakness that we always talk about, Doublelift, that was a 2 versus 2 lane. He went even in CS versus Draven. This might have been an overhyped thing, as you know, it's very rare for Doublelift to exaggerate. But
never.
But when
Never
but sometimes he
exaggerates.
does.
Never. I don't even believe you. I don't even think sometimes. He's a man true to his word. Here we go, guys. Into the game. Number 8 of the day. Freak and Kobe bringing you an awesome one. Dignitas here in the blue side, of the bottom left, making their way out of the base. Vulcun in the top right. You know, Vulcun even matches their team colors right now. They've got those red logos. Woo. They've got the red background. And they're looking for the red buff.
Vision for both teams. We have scouted each other out here, and we are inside the Dignitas jungle already. Look at this sneaky 3-man invade on the blue, though, to answer. And they've left a nice trail of wards behind them here. The Tribush warded out. So if Vulcun do take the bottom exit, Dignitas are going to know about it.
And interestingly enough, they've got a ward so far down towards that double golems. They'll actually watch guys go towards lane. Vulcun will have an early read on who goes where for level 1.
They did all just recall, though. So Vulcun going to get their vision down and get out of there.
And they have safe, complete darkness on their own red buff. Now the question is, are Vulcun confident enough to walk into their own red? Because we just heard Nian talk about level 1s and say, you know, we split up Link basically to ward the bottom side to make sure they didn't invade somewhere else, but there is zero vision of... Vulcun has no idea where there are any wards at all from Dignitas here.
And this vision that they did get on the double golems actually not going to come to anything because nobody's stopping it. So it looks like they are going to go with those late double golem start for KiWiKiD and Patoy, which just means that they'll either miss 1 or 2 minions. We'll have to actually see how quickly they can do this. Graves and Sona is a very good combo for bursting down these double golems and getting to lane quickly.
So those are going to be going down. Free advantage here for the Dignitas lineup. Crumbzz left to solo his own red buff right here. Will he burn Smite for it? No, just gets the help from Patoy and saves the Smite. We had seen Zuna and BloodWater check the enemy blue buff. Didn't see anything there. But they have been given this 2v1 lane, so at the very least they scouted a safe lane for Zuna.
And down bottom, KiWiKiD only missed experience from 1 minion, but he missed gold from 2 by doing those double golems. So if you're able to rush them down quickly, you can actually still pull that advantage off.
And there we go, level 2 already. One of the earliest in the game. Xmithie goes to try to stop this blue buff. Of course, you can see Crumbzz and Scarra trying to stop this one out. The jump goes in on a blood buff, but here comes Zuna and co. Exhaust onto Crumbzz. Crumbzz has already burned his flash away. They might not have the damage needed to kill him, but they have wrested control of the blue, so this blue crest will go to them.
So Crumbzz actually jumping in there and has to burn his summoner. That's going to be pretty big for his ganks because Xin Zhao needs that flash to gain any large amount of distance. It means something really good here for especially the mid lane, Mandatory Cloud. Since Mandatory Cloud started with that crystal, he doesn't have vision of the bottom side. He was only had the 1 ward that put there for him by Lulu. So he can just hug that ward and he'll be completely safe.
Well, good luck then to Mandatory Cloud right now. BloodWater really hurting Scarra up. Still a level 1 Diana here. And Xmithie with free reign over his buff as well. KiWiKiD actually gets taunted under the turret. Takes a shot for that one. Should be able to get sustained back up, but nice move by Sid. So 3-1. Early buffs go to Vulcun. The early level 1 plays end up paying off. Vulcun to an early lead here.
And look at this level 2 Crumbzz. He's getting, well, we're going to have the spider invade around. We'll see if Crumbzz actually, he is going to go try and support that top. So Xmithie's going to have vision here. And he lands a cocoon.
Lands a cocoon, goes for the extra burst as well. Does a good bit of damage, dropping Crumbzz below half HP. And look, this Vulcun has a surround on Scarra's turret. They're bringing the Spider Queen back up there as well, but they're running out of minions very, very quickly. Scarra's shield will time out, and they're now proxying the minion wave. This is going to be a lot of turret pressure.
Vulcun can just stay in between these 2 turrets. They have nothing to worry about since they can see all the other members of Dignitas, and they can just zone Crumbzz off of that turret for Scarra to CS there.
Looks like they jump in on Crumbzz right now. A lot of slows on him. The burst coming across. Do they have what it takes? Yes, they do. First blood goes to Zuna, and Scarra is still trapped.
Crumbzz wanted to get some sort of evacuation there for Scarra, but he stuck around too long and he didn't have flash, so Vulcun make him pay for it. Great job right there. They did burn the flash, but totally worth it. Got the first blood, and they can continue to sit behind the tower if they want to.
But look at this move from Scarra. He just proxied the next minion wave coming in, so Vulcun have to run all the way back around. Scarra taking it up just enough there. Has his abilities back from cooldown. Scarra kind of reset that, kept his turret and himself alive.
KiWiKiD doing a nice job there in that mid lane. Pushing mandatorycloud back off.
But look at this dual lane though. Dignitas have taken the first turret at 5 minutes because there was no jungle support down there. So basically it's a first blood traded for a turret, which is a bit of a lead. Oh, the stun lands. Goodbye, KiWiKiD. Nice try on the juke. Already had burned his flash. So now 2 kills for a turret so far in this game.
Nice try on the juke, but Xmithie did exactly what you're supposed to do. He auto-attacked using his red buff while closing distance and just letting KiWiKiD juke. The more you juke, the less distance you're going to gain, and he does land the very easy cocoon, not waiting until he's right next to him.
So 2 kills traded for a turret, and we see we have equal gold as a result. Sycho Sid in the back near his own turret trying to last hit, only has 10 so far. Scarra though, he's up to 21 from his efforts in proxying some of those minions, so he's having a much better time early game. Crumbzz showing up to defend this turret. So far so good, but the turret's down about 500 health. This could be going down soon.
Yeah, even though the first turret went to Dignitas, Vulcun can answer very soon as long as KiWiKiD does not get up there, because they were able to kill Crumbzz and it went to Zuna, so he's got a red buff. Not only can he spam that E on you, his explosive shot's going to tick down on you, and the red buff is going to be doing true damage.
And with that turret going down, Zuna will get a quick advantage here, but to point something out, he's only up 50 gold on Imaqtpie right now, because with all that pressure going for the turret damage, Zuna did miss out on about 13 minions compared to his opponent. So oddly enough, the first blood is sort of negated by some of those minion kills.
The minion's definitely in the advantage of KiWiKiD, but Sycho Sid over here has a nice wave, and he can farm up till he gets level 6. Stand United's going to be in the game very soon here, and that gives Vulcun a really nice upper hand in the next skirmish that happens. Oh, KiWiKiD gets hit.
Oh, a bunch of damage there. Card going to get locked, but will... Oh, yep, Xmithie's going to go for it. mancloud gets the kill credit, though. Ignite making that one happen. Good job here to Vulcun. They've turned this one 3-0 so far with a 1,000 gold lead.
Xmithie showing why the jungle Elise is so popular. His presence has been ridiculous, making plays all over the map. He's the one getting all of these kills and getting the early advantage for Vulcun.
Yeah, his presence has really just opened up the kills. His little gifts to his team. He's got assists the entire way through. So, mancloud, I mean, 2-0 at the start. How scary is it to be like, okay, Ryze is a late game carry, so if we can end it before late game, we're good. And he's got a huge head start with 2 kills.
Yeah, Vulcun, we talked about having the late game team comp. It's all late game except for that jungle Elise, who has a really strong early game, and he is making it pay off so well right here. Now, for Dignitas, though, they are going to have that dual level 6 with the Sona and Graves coming in pretty soon. So we'll have to see if they can actually pull something off without being interrupted by the Shen shield coming in with his Stand United.
See if they can do it, because there is Sycho Sid in the top lane split pushing. Dragon might just be next on the table, but right now ward coverage is better for Dignitas. They've got the vision ward on Dragon. That's a bit of an advantage for them. Crumbzz sweeps out his own jungle. I want to see if he uses Smite here. He does not, so he knows it's on the table, wants to save Smite for a pending Dragon battle.
And Scarra going up against Sycho Sid, even though he has a minion advantage, we have the items already purchased on Sycho Sid. So he's sitting on a Doran's belt. All right. Oh, here we go. Zuna's going in on KiWiKiD.
Big shields on there, going to keep him alive right there. And now KiWiKiD is surrounded. Great taunt comes across. Good bait there by Zuna. And now Patoy forced away as well. 4-0 in kills. This could be a dragon soon for Vulcun.
Yeah, that's a Giant's belt, not a Doran's belt. Doran only uses shields, swords, and rings. No belts for him.
This is not a leathersmith. Leathersmith? What's the word for that?
That's good enough.
I think
we should leave that.
I've coined
one.
it.
Let's leave that one be. Anyway, we did make use of that Stand United we talked about. Yes, success. Yes. And they were rewarded with a kill. Vulcun again, they're just really steamrolling this early game, which was quite unexpected.
Seems the valve is opened right here. Vulcun are just really opening things up right now. There we go. Dragon goes down. Now Dignitas are countering this one top lane. Crumbzz waiting in the brush as Scarra pushes.
Oh, Scarra's going in for it, but here's the TF ult too.
And it's Sycho Sid running towards the left. He still has flash. He's outrunning KiWiKiD right now. Now can he make his way out? That turret is dead. He's got a lot of places to run.
Okay, so if he waits for the Audacious charge and then taunts to also grab Crumbzz in it, then he can actually get away from, oh, he's just going to wait to go over the wall.
Whoa! Does get knocked up at the very last second, but has made it over the wall first. Good escape there. Sycho Sid burned a lot of ults. They trade turrets for it too. That's fine for Vulcun.
He still has flash too. He didn't have to burn a summoner even for that. Dignitas are just getting run around right now.
1,500 gold is what you get for Vulcun when you do this well early on. 73 minion kills, 2 champion kills, a dragon, and 2 turrets are making mandatorycloud a very, very rich rise. I lost it. I didn't want to say cloud. I was going to say like collection of evaporated water, and it was like, that's horrible, and then I just kind of died inside. So Sycho Sid, man, still on the split push. Doesn't even have his ultimate, but man, he's all right there. He's still farming up 2,500 gold on him. Zuna actually holding on to $1,500 right now. He's about to smack someone in the face with that money.
Dollar bill. Yes, Zuna, he can't freeze the wave back there by the turret because he is just on it, and the explosive shot is going to automatically push. So best option when you can't freeze is just shove as hard as you can. So you can see using all of his auto attacks, even using the rapid fire to try and shove that minion wave into the turret and then join his team as soon as possible, because Vulcun definitely have the upper hand right now.
But Dignitas aren't yet reacting to Zuna right there. He's a little bit afraid without any ward coverage, but they've just now sent QTPie and Patoy. If Zuna pushed hard enough, he'd almost get into the turret in time, but it looks like Dignitas will defend this outer turret.
Dignitas, they sent 3 people down here. Crumbzz is not going behind Zuna though, so that he's actually just going to walk away. Yordle legs will be long enough this day.
And if not, he could rocket jump, so whatever. Nice try there by Zuna, nice attempt there by Crumbzz. Zuna gets some farm and gets out. However, we still have that minion kill difference there. Imaqtpie just hits 100. The first person in the game to do that has his BF sword. He's actually just about 200 gold away from Bloodthirster.
That will be a really nice bonus for Dignitas, because they need to burst somebody down. They have to catch someone out, lock them down with some CC, and then have QTPie just unload to get back in this game. They can still easily come back from this one. It's only 4 kills. Yes, they are behind, but we've seen bigger comebacks, and those come from catching out members of Vulcun.
Something that Dignitas are definitely very, very good at doing. Destiny, the Twisted Fate ultimate, really good at making those happen. For sure, he missed the last one, but it's back up now. However, we talked about this in the pregame. Sycho Sid's global is also available, so the shields are here to defend a Twisted Fate gank.
So what Vulcun want to do is just play safe, because they know Dignitas are going to look for that pick. They're looking to catch off some straggler, and Vulcun really needs to up their ward game here and increase the vision.
Oh, good escape right there. Just out of range of the Crescent Strike from Scarra right there. That was a close call. Zuna almost went forward in the lane as well and said, okay. So, yeah, Dignitas are waiting right there on the river.
Oh, they do miss the cocoon, but mandatorycloud already the 12 minutes. Rod of Ages plus tier and boots. He is on a very, very quick path to victory.
You'd say he's on mandatorycloud 9 right now. And I mean that in terms of he's very, very happy as opposed to the other team. All right, that one failed. Moving on. Dignitas holding on to the remains of their mid lane right here. Of course, that turret has already gone down. Vulcun actually, it's surprising me they're not split pushing that exposed outer turret in the bottom. They're kind of just letting that one sit as it is and just letting Sycho Sid stay in the top lane, even though I don't know if he's going to get onto that turret.
Dignitas looking for the engage.
They find that onto BloodWater right here. Good sheep, though. They still get the pull in. The battle is going to begin. Oh, my God. The burst onto BloodWater does not get to use Wild Growth. And now Xmithie kind of lurking around in the shadows. Scarra might be going down. That kill is found. Xmithie flashes over the wall. Does not hit the wild card. Zuna knocks back out of Crumbzz. Still trying to run away. Imaqtpie. They're trying to clean up right here. Can they chase out a mandatorycloud? Oh, KiWiKiD finds one. Now looking to flank on the enemy team. A 3-for-1 though. Dignitas, huge team fight.
QTPie hits the Bloodthirster. Bam! They go in for the AoE, and now mandatorycloud wants Patoy, but just barely denied.
Just no health left on that guy right here. Mandatorycloud. This is a little bit risky. QTPie's life stealing up successfully with that Bloodthirster, and they have the wave to push this mid turret down.
Oh yeah, Dignitas just got a whole bunch of confidence off of that last fight. We just had Scarra do a beautiful job setting up that crescendo. Patoy landing it, and now Crumbzz in trouble. He does get caught.
Oh man, he did not expect BloodWater to come in time that slow, really helping him pick that one up right there. Now Imaqtpie forced to run. If the Whimsy can help mancloud move forward, that might just be enough to get the catch on Imaqtpie. Almost into range, but gives respect to the possible gold card from KiWiKiD.
KiWiKiD did pick up a card right there, and it did have it. Oh, Xmithie comes in for the invade, though. If he actually had used Repel right there, he could have revealed the low health Twisted Fate at double golems, but they just throw down a ward instead.
Vulcun a little bit afraid of the enemy jungle. They could have stolen away the red if they wanted to, but didn't know what was waiting around the corners. Decided, we'll let this one go for now. Play it a little bit safer. Let's not do anything too risky. We're getting the late game team with Ryze and Tristana. Let's just get there.
Yeah, they just saw exactly what Dignitas are playing right here. The Scarra engage, group people up with his Moonfall, and then have Patoy come in, lay the crescendo beautifully across those three people, and have KiWiKiD use his entire burst combo on the dancers.
Yeah, Patoy's ultimate is really music to Dignitas' ears. It's winning them the team fights right now, but Zuna is constantly applying the pressure. He's actually doing a better job split pushing, I would say, than Sycho Sid right there. Wow, Vulcun are taking this dragon, and Zuna can escape if he gets ganked. This is a great move by Vulcun.
Yeah, but Dignitas, they're not going to contest this move. They're actually sending 3 members top to push down that turret even faster.
Really, really smart adaptation there. Dignitas going to push this one down. The attack speed buff there for Crumbzz, and this is going to be another turret answered back right there as KiWiKiD did push away Zuna, winning that duel in the bottom lane. So, secondary upper turret traded for a dragon. Pretty good move, and Vulcun are not making headway in this mid lane.
Yeah, Patoy actually fending off 2 people right there. I thought they might even dive, but it looks like Dignitas did a really good job. They answered, plus they gave KiWiKiD the free farm to stack his Bloodthirster fully. That's an extra 30 damage and 6% lifesteal.
139 CS to 105. You compare the gold, and he is now 600 above Zuna right there. That late game 80 carry, he was given first blood. They've kept the turrets close, but Imaqtpie is just much more massive right there. Richest guy on his team, almost at 6K, barely beneath this mandatory cloud we were hyping up before. So Imaqtpie a big factor in this game.
Well, yeah, this is the part of the game where Graves stronger than Tristana. Tristana had a really good early game, and that's a great start, but Blade of the Ruin King on her early, she doesn't have the punch that Graves has right now where he's built full damage. Zuna, he usually goes with Infinity Edge after the Blade of the Ruin King, and that's really when he starts to hurt.
So another about 2,700 gold still to go till Zuna can pick up that item. Sitting at about 1,200 right now, can get the pickaxe. Could wait for a BF sword, but still a ways to go. Now, Dragon's got a little bit of time left to go on this one. Dragon's going to be at 2130, so a good long way until a major objective is there that might give Vulcun enough time to get a couple more items collected and regroup for that next team fight.
It's really Dignitas that want to group up here because we saw it before. They want to make use of the AoE kits that their champions have. If your Graves burst combo is only being used on one person, then Vulcun actually still have the option to coming back in and re-engaging. Here, Zuna's going for the 1v1.
That's not a good one for Zuna. It gets exploded right there, but Imaqtpie still has half health left as well. Despite the Blade of the Ruin King active being used, just was not enough. So Zuna, he's going to have to rethink this one. This push could be successful for a turret here, Dignitas.
Yeah, KiWiKiD AD carry dominance achieved. He just showed Zuna what's up right there. No more 1v1. I mean, Blade of the Ruin King is a nice dueling item, but Zuna's reliant too much on auto attacks. Here goes the TF ulti coming into mid lane, but he actually just wanted to get vision for this split push for Crumbzz and KiWiKiD.
And that turret did go down. There's the ult from Crumbzz. Well-timed, blocking the Q in from Xmithie. He did not want to get chased out. The reflexes are there. BloodWater hasting up mancloud. Mancloud will not find KiWiKiD, who gets hasted away by Patoy. So Vulcun not finding the counter engage they wanted. 4-2 now in turrets. And that means a 600 gold lead now for Dignitas. Seems the fates have twisted here, and Dignitas now in a bit of a lead as they hold on and look for their next team fight.
And once again, it seems a lot of Dignitas' hope are resting on KiWiKiD right now. He jokes around a lot about being able to carry any team, but you know, he really needs to put in the work to carry a lot of these recent games, and he's doing a good job against Zuna.
Zuna, I don't know if you're going to like this one very much. Rocket Jump gets canceled out by the Q from Crumbzz. Pushes back Imaqtpie. That gives him an isolated kill onto Crumbzz. Crumbzz goes down. Does not land the taunt on Imaqtpie. But Imaqtpie is going to be caught alone. Fails to flash over the wall. This is not good. BloodWater is going to be nearby. Oh, the counter back onto Zuna. That was beautiful. Sorry, he did not fail his flash. He saved that for this move right here. Now BloodWater, can he get the slow he needs? Actually lands the second glitter lance on Imaqtpie. Here's the exhaust as well. There's the taunt. Imaqtpie barriers. He doesn't want to go down for this one. Gives the kill over.
Oh, Imaqtpie with the beautiful switcheroo there, though, right over the wall. And he does kill Zuna one more time. Worth.
Very stylish play right there. And Imaqtpie picks up a static shiv for his efforts, so even more burst on this AD carry. However, Vulcun are answering back. They've put minions, put their members, I should say, towards the mid lane, looking for something here. KiWiKiD down to half health. They find the engage on a Patoy. The cocoon lands as well. Crescendo goes back across, but now Vulcan's got to be afraid. They're getting a little bit surrounded. Xmithie forced to run away. Mandatory Cloud in the mid lane, getting jumped on actually. Crumbzz making that happen. KiWiKiD goes down, but the chase is on. Scarra makes that one happen. 1 for 1 so far.
That was, again, Scarra was split pushing in that top lane, and he walked all the way down here. He's joined, and Crumbzz keeps up the chase.
Here we go, 3v3, about to happen. BloodWater flashes the wall. Sycho Sid coming around, does not land the taunt. Crumbzz dashes in too quickly. Xmithie forced to run away. He might just make it out right here, but Crumbzz will have the dash soon. He's got it.
Joins the fight.
Oh, this could be rough. Sycho Sid gets jumped on. His taunt, it's up in 2 seconds right there. It's a disengage, nothing else found.
So there's a giant minion wave up top, which is drawing Vulcun back. Dignitas could actually use this opportunity to shove up the middle and keep some pressure on.
And that turret is just still standing a little bit longer. 1100 health from that one, not much to go. About 1/3 HP. Crumbzz shoving that up. And unsurprisingly, Vulcun does donate that top lane farm to Zuna, though, putting a lot of their hopes on his tiny little Yordle shoulders.
And meanwhile, it's Scarra who's been cleaning up most of these free lane minion kills here. He went from top in the free lane down to bottom. Now he's cleaning up all the rest of that money down there. So Scarra is actually accumulating quite a bit of gold. And once he gets his Zanyas, his initiate's going to be even more scary, because that's exactly what they want to do to set up the crescendo. He'll be able to Zanyas after that, and he won't have to fear for his life.
And Scar's about 900 gold away from that mark. He's got the Seekers. He's sitting on about 1,200 gold right now. It's 2,100 from this point to finish that combined. He's even sacrificed upgrading his boots for this. He knows that's the next item coming into play for himself. And do you think Dignitas will wait for that? Because the thing is, Dragon's coming up in 30 seconds, and that's going to be a big thing to look for both these teams.
Well, they actually need to grab that dragon. The gold right now so even. Dignitas can make use. Oh no, they don't have their AoE ultimates available. I mean, that was a really nice play there by Imaqtpie, but the collateral damage plus the crescendo down right now would mean that if Dignitas challenged that dragon, it'd be a bluff.
It would be a bluff, and the thing is, there are some of their own cooldowns down as well, for what it's worth. Sycho Sid has about a minute left on his stand united. There's this weird sort of mix of, does everyone know exactly what summoners and what ultimates are available? Because a lot of these teams are actually without ultis. BloodWater's ult's down. mancloud, I guess his Rise doesn't care too much, but there's these interesting situations where cooldowns aren't there for either side. Yeah,
the ult's just so much more important for Dignitas, though. They have to have that AoE combo to be able to win these team fights. Not having stand united isn't the biggest of deals, because if Shen is already there, then he's doing his job. He's going to be the tank in the front. He's going to try and land a good taunt, and if he can get to the back line, then they don't actually need that shield from stand united.
So here we go. Scarra recalls back to base, makes sure he's nice and healthy right here. Doesn't seem to have picked up too much, though. Not even a blue elixir and whatnot, so he's just going to make sure his health and mana is full. The ward's getting swept out a little bit here by Dignitas, but looks like they're getting ready to contest for a dragon, but Vulcan's already started it out right there, down below half health.
Yeah, Dignitas don't even want to try for this one. You can see Scarra was already heading top lane. So without that combo, they don't feel confident enough to fight Vulcan.
Now that is the third dragon then here picked up by this Vulcan squad. They are succeeding in keeping their gold up. They're up 3 kills. They're up, I think, 3 dragons to 0 at this point. They're only down that 1 turret in the TF passive, so the gold has remained close, but dragon control is a lot of what gave TSM the win over Velocity earlier today.
And Dignitas, again, they've got a giant minion wave that pushed all the way to the inhibitor turret, but weren't really able to make use of that pressure up in the bottom side, and they just kind of sat in the shadows, and Zuna got some more free farm.
And that's not a good thing to deal with, really. Let me look at Zuna and Mandatory Cloud, right? 4-1-1 on Rise, 3-3-1 on that Tristana, 150 minion kills plus a piece. They're both sitting on an average of 8,000 gold here, so the items are getting completed. Zuna only about 700-800 gold away from finishing that Infinity Edge, that big power spike he desperately wants. Mandatory Cloud similarly looking at a finished Abyssal Scepter when he gets back to base. He's sending out a bunch of money as well.
We could see the gank onto Sid, though. If Sid continually solo pushes like that, then Twisted Fate is actually a really good champion for attacking that global presence in Shen. If you can teleport in with Twisted Fate to someone who's already laning against Shen, then that's a very, very viable strategy of shutting down those Shen split pushes.
He's looking for it right there. You can see Sycho Sid is remaining up there, finally keeping up minion kills. 137, not the highest, had a bit of trouble early in the laning phase, but sitting on that Sunfire is finally getting the push happening right there. Scarra, though, waiting for him in the brush. This could be an attempt on his life. There we go.
Kiwi's halfway up the river, and he does get it there in time.
He gets the taunt off on a Scar, but the gold card lands. A lot of bursts coming across. Sycho Sid not liking a lot of this right here. Low on health. One more attack comes in. Scar picks up the kill. Great gank.
That's how you play a global fight there. You go after the Shen because he's not going to be able to stand united himself and have two ninjas appear. Great job there by Dignitas, and they're taking advantage by KiWiKiD, again, shoving solo versus Zuna. And after he already heads up killed Zuna twice, Zuna does not want to fight KiWiKiD.
Seems to really not want to, so waiting still on the Infinity Edge. Right there, Crumbzz about to face check a bunch of damage. There's the damage jab, but knocks the team back, but he's been cocooned. Will the rest of the burst come through? It's going to be close. The Hex comes in. There's the Elise Repel. Mandatory Cloud picks up a kill. 5-1 on that champion. KiWiKiD still on the right-hand side, though.
The Bush ganks have been able to turn around so many games. You could tell Crumbzz hesitating. He had a feeling someone was in that Bush, but he finally got a little too impatient and stepped too close.
So now Dignitas putting on the brakes a little bit. They finally did take out that middle turret right there. That was actually Patoy just saying, I've got a minion wave, I'm a Sona, I'm going to just throw some cords at it, and then we're good to go. But now the rest of the base, I feel like it's going to be hard for Dig to push in. Secondary turrets are very hard to kill, and, you know, without, I mean, heck, they're at a gold deficit. Dignitas pushing more advantages is going to be hard for them, I feel.
Yeah, it is. As the game goes on, it just gets harder and harder for Dignitas. They have to repeatedly pull off moves like the one a couple minutes ago where they caught out Sid. They need to catch one more person off and then turn that into an objective. See, it's great if you kill Sid, but if you don't take anything after killing him, then it's not going to get you back in this game.
So Sid still has his own ultimate available. We have just 12 seconds left on KiWiKiD, so those will basically just be up and available. So these teams able to move around the map right now.
Ooh.
Sid did make that adaptation we saw before, got the Wits End, wants to duel some magic damage dealers, and he's going actually for the bottom lane to deal with Imaqtpie.
Well, he does have, you know, Sunfire Cape and Dorian Shield too, but Mandatory Cloud, this time's the target. He does get Shen ulti, but that's 3 people.
There we go, 3 versus 2, a beautiful knockback as well. mancloud was nowhere to go. That's 1 kill picked up. Now Patoy shows up. Sycho Sid's got nowhere to go. Wild Goat comes in, fails the flash. A lot of crowd control on him. 2 kills for nothing. That could be barren for Dignitas.
Boom, we say they need to catch someone out, and they catch someone out again. Great job by Dignitas. They're getting right back in this one. KiWiKiD is going to be able to take down this inhibitor turret.
And yeah, and if Zuna is sent to defend, it's going to be no pressure for the Baron as well. Dignitas sweeping out the wards right now. KiWiKiD lurking around. Zuna being sent over here. Let's see if he can win this duel. Has the Infinity Edge this time around. Is going to look for the fight right here. Puts the explosive shot down. And there's the fight. The burst comes across on both sides. Zuna, can you chase him down? Pops the ult. Rocket jumps forward. Does he have the damage? The flash comes out. Zuna gets the kill right there. And Baron, though, being attempted. It's Sycho Sid. Sorry, it's Xmithie falling down. Dignitas pick one up.
Oh, Crumbzz got so low from the Baron, though, that they can't finish it. So they just traded kills right there. Good solo this time by Zuna. Now we reach the point with the Infinity Edge and the extra free auto attacks that he got because KiWiKiD was targeting the turret, that he can actually win the duel.
Overall, a 3-for-1 trade for Dignitas overall. That puts them now 800 gold in the lead. These guys are trading these minor gold leads back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The next dragon up in 40 seconds right now. Sid will not have his ult for it, but KiWiKiD will soon.
Very rough right there. Dignitas had the window, a little bit indecisive. If KiWiKiD had not wasted 2 of those free auto attacks that Zuna got on him, and he probably could have come out on top, but that's just such a close decision. They really, really wanted that inhibitor turret. It's this late game. We're already getting there. Even if it's only 27 minutes, but we're already having to see the decisions between going for the inhibitor turrets or the Barons.
And 209 health is all that's left on that bottom lane turret. So speaking of, pressure and making the right decisions, we've seen so many games where Baron and inhibitors are two different objectives split amongst the teams right there. Now Vulcun have still controlled Dragon, though. That is really, I feel, keeping them in this game. It's going to be another one over and over and over again. Dragon being more than 10% of Vulcan's gold at this point.
The Dragons definitely have been the story here. Similar to the Cloud9 games, they've timed them so well. And Cloud9 even said that Vulcan are a team that's most similar to them, especially in champion picks. So interesting to see both of them focus very much on that Dragon. This time, Sycho Sid up there in the top split pushing does throw down a few pings on this Dignitas gank that's coming at him again.
Yeah, the TF ult goes in. They're looking for that top limit there. Sycho Sid not in a good place. Does he have the escapes he needs? I don't really think so. Down below half HP, still trying to run. Does not have flash. Gold card lands, shields it, but the engage is there. Kill picked up, but the mid lane is getting shoved down by Vulcan. It's going to be Dignitas having to make a decision right now. The fight comes in. They find him a KiWiKiD. KiWiKiD, the crescendo comes in for Patoy. Is it going to be enough? KiWiKiD falls over. There's one kill picked up. The top lane still getting pushed out. Patoy chased down inside of his base. The inhibitor is going to be going down to this top lane. Vulcan are behind in structures right now.
So this is dead even. They trade 1 for 1, and they're going to trade inhibitor for inhibitor.
This is going to be the inhib indeed falling, and Dignitas actually having to walk out of the base to recall because minions would stop them here. 12 to 11 right there. 80 carry versus top laner falls off. Dignitas recall. And oh, this game just got crazy.
Now everybody's eyes turned towards Baron. Dignitas were well aware that Vulcan could make the rotation up there, so they recalled to base as quickly as possible and now need to make a beeline back up there. There's no vision.
They're doing it. The Shenmue comes by as well. It doesn't help make sure they DPS in time. They have the tanks. Zuna has Rapid Fire and a Blade of the Rune King. This is theirs. Vulcan not only traded inhibitors, but took an uncontested Baron. That is huge. A 2,300 gold lead. That team's got to get out.
Dignitas just a little bit too slow right there. They come up the river. They're going to find a terrible, terrible surprise. The Baron is gone.
It is gone. So Dignitas go, oof, that was rough. And they had people in the top lane. They, I guess they had no minions left anymore, but that was weird. They didn't want to go for the base race at all. They said, okay, we'll play defense, but they didn't keep anyone nearby the Baron pit. I feel like they were in the top jungle. They could have waited around for the team.
Yeah, no ward coverage too meant that Vulcan had an easy time because they had oracles, so they knew no vision from Dignitas, and they just went to go rush that Baron. So now we return again. Dignitas have to pull some sort of pick, and there are actually only 4 members in this bush. Vulcan are coming in as 5 with Baron.
Xmithie's lurking around the side. They're getting antsy. The gold card is locked. Oh, he wards over the wall, and they catch on to Crumbzz. Will it be the engage? Volto Spiderling comes across the haste on the Sycho Sid. They're diving in for it. Do they have the damage they need? Gold card lands on Xmithie. The collateral damage is burned. There's a knockup. Crumbzz pops the ult, though. He will go down, but there's mancloud getting cut off by Scarra. He flashes out. Scarra Zodius. Xmithie goes down 1 for 1 so far. Now Scarra, what can he do in this one? Getting jumped on. Zuna survives, and mancloud picks up the kill. Now it's a 4 versus 3. Vulcan's going to get out.
So Dignitas actually able to salvage a kill from that one, turning it around. Really well played. They were able to get 1 Baron buff down, and look at the work of the top minion wave there. It means Vulcan going to have to retreat to their base now.
They retreat to their base, but it also means a significant amount of farm about to be going to one of the major carries now of Vulcan. You look at Zuna, he's added Last Whisper to the repertoire. You look at Mandatory Cloud, he's getting close to Frozen Heart right now. And you've got 3 champions who want to auto-attack a lot on Dignitas. Frozen Heart is going to be a pretty important power spike.
It's going to be very interesting how Vulcan actually play the late game team fights, because yes, they do have Tristana, which is one of the best tools you can have in these very end game team fights, but Dignitas have so much burst and dive in their composition that they can easily burst down Zuna and make him a non-factor in that fight. It's really going to depend on the quality of Sycho Sid's either stand united onto Zuna or his taunts to peel for Zuna.
And Zuna's a player who has a lot of confidence in his own abilities. Back in the playoffs, he picked Kog'Maw into Nocturne Shen and said, yes, I can outplay them, I can dodge the shadow dashes, I'll be fine there, and actually did so, played an unsafe carry against the dive comp and survived that one. Zuna has been making I mean, he's always been confident in his abilities. He's tried to just duel KiWiKiD, or sorry, Imaqtpie many times this game. More recently, he's been successful, so Zuna's going to be like, bring it on.
Yeah, it's really going to come back down to the landed crescendo. If Dignitas are again able to get off the combo onto 3 or more members of Vulcun, then they can still take this and they can easily, you know, take down even a composition as late game oriented as this Vulcun team.
And here they go, Vulcun towards the bottom lane. Now their Baron buff will time out right around the time Dragon comes back up. They've got about 45 seconds left to push this bottom lane. mancloud going to take this turret out. Looks like they will backdoor this successfully, or at least start making headway. Dignitas are a little bit slower to defend.
We have KiWiKiD recalling all the way to base right now. So they are going to make their last stand at the inhibitor turrets and not chase down Vulcun into their own jungle. Vulcun already have the vision advantage with that Oracles and the pre-warding.
The red steel comes across, the Baron buff timing out just in a few seconds, and now 20 seconds until Dragon. They ping their own blue buff, Vulcun making sure they take everything from the map right now, that they are successful in controlling this game, playing to the late game, have a 4,000 gold lead right here, so certainly they've been making the right moves in the last few minutes, and with the buffs being taken up, now the question is, do they take their Dragon again, or are they afraid of Dignitas stopping them there?
Vulcun would definitely love to return to that Dragon area because Dignitas are still scared. They don't have vision of their own jungle because of that Oracles that BloodWater was walking around the red side. Dignitas, every bush they check, they have to be very scared and they have to prep it with an ability or a ward placement. So you can see Vulcun feel confident enough to even just two-man this Dragon without smite.
Beautifully done right here. That is theirs, and there's no chance of stealing, no global ultimates. That at least deal damage to things on their own right, so good pickup. And now they go back towards the mid lane. Zuna did take some of that top lane farm before giving it back over to Sycho Sid. Sid doing a little bit better in his itemization. Looks like he's going towards Randuin's Omen now, trying to take up Imaqtpie or Crumbzz.
Yeah, that was really the effect of the fog of war. That vision denial meant that Dignitas could not even step close to contest that one. And now they really need to bunch back up and try and funnel Vulcun into their base so they can actually land that, you know, game-making crescendo.
And look at Sycho Sid right now. He's waiting in the top lane in the brush, saying, I think Dignitas is looking to make a play on me. We've seen that TF ult, the Scarra gank so many times with that top lane being exposed that he is afraid, saying, we can control this late game. I don't want to get caught out. When we see Dignitas, I'll make a move and push out.
Well, look at how many wards are inside Dignitas jungle here for Vulcun. They've just got that thing peppered with wards. So Dignitas, it's going to be so hard for them to make another one of those pick-off plays where they snag somebody. But it looks like if you're going to do it, you want to go up the lane where Vulcun don't have wards, and they might even make a move on Zuna.
They might. These guys are lurking around. Sycho Sid going to split push towards the bottom. And it looks like if you want to assault a lane, you've got to pepper the jungle above it with wards. And that's what they've done right here. So, Xmithie
going for Rise!
Oh, they go in. mandatorycloud takes the stand united early on. Vulcun do not want to risk any team fight. The flash cocoon is flashed away. Dignitas going to survive that one. Zuna rejoining the team. 5v5 about to start in this mid lane.
That's actually a really good trade for Dignitas right there. No giant shield is going to come into play now. They'll gladly trade that TF ulti for the Shen ulti.
There we go. The trades have come across. The cooldown's a little bit better for Dignitas, and here we go. Crumbzz still sticking with the team. They know there's no more movement abilities available, so they're all sticking together pretty hard right now. Zuna almost recalls back. No, it's still this mid lane push right here. Of course, there's no turret defending that inhibitor. This is the best place for Vulcun to push, but Baron's up in 5 seconds.
Yeah, and Dignitas, they would have taken the fight in the jungle while Vulcun were all bunched up in the small corridors, but they didn't have any vision. If they can get those wards back down and regain control of at least their side of the map, then the potential is there for that team fight to break out.
Well, Vulcun take a little bit of time to sweep out to their own base and buy some new items. There's a lot of completed stuff coming in here now. The Phantom Dance are done for Zuna, and Dignitas now have ward control. They're lurking around the Baron area, and they are not well spotted. Just now a ward comes across, and they say, okay, Dignitas, you're not going for Baron, we're okay. Vulcun are looking for a little move right here.
And Tristana now has 703 range, so it's going to be very hard to catch Tristana even in the end of that crescendo because she stands so far back. There's the
Here they
initiate.
go. They knock everybody back right there. Crumbzz diving in. mancloud taking a bunch of pain, puts the shield down. Crescendo across. Crumbzz goes down. Zuna, it's on him to kite backward. He has done this successfully. Scarra on the Zonias gets jumped out, explodes right there. 2 for 0 for Vulcun, and now they push on.
Crescendo did not hit Zuna right there, so they had the 4-item Tristana firing away from the back line.
Cocoon lands, and here comes the jump in on a KiWiKiD. So much damage coming across. Can they find the last few attacks? A flash forward for Zuna makes that one happen. 3 for nothing, and now comes the push in towards the base.
Looks like Vulcun are going to make this one all the way towards the Nexus.
Here we go, guys. The inhibitor goes on down, and now what do they look for? The shield off into Xmithie. He's going to take up a couple of turret shots. There's the backdoor starting on in Nexus turret number 1. KiWiKiD is there. The taunt comes across. They find one. Sycho Sid survives with shields just barely, and that first turret is going to fall down. Only Patoy is left alive. This could be enough damage for the Vulcun squad right here. 5 seconds left on Crumbzz. Turret number 2 still falling down, taking a lot of damage from it though. Can Patoy stop them? I don't know if it's quite going to happen. On the Nexus now, Crumbzz is alive. Scar in 8 seconds. The shield comes out from Sycho Sid. The initiation comes in. Crumbzz, can you do it? The knockback from Zuna. One more shot, and there it is. Vulcun takes the win.
Ooh, endgame Tristana, endgame Rise. Good job by Vulcun, well deserved. Dignitas though with some very, very crisp plays.
Very good moves from these guys. The gank constantly from KiWiKiD, just hunting down the split pusher. They got mandatory cloud, they got Sycho Sid, they got him over and over again. Unfortunately, the final team fights though, they got outscaled. That Tristana, that Rise, we said it, and it happened.
They deserve their number 2 spot. Vulcun here showed up once again that they should not be underestimated by anybody in the league.
They are in sole control of that number 2 spot. We've had so many ties for second, ties for third, ties for fourth. We've now got a sole first place and a sole second place now in Vulcun. And this is not, I think, a standing that people would have expected coming into the split.
I wouldn't have predicted that one. Actually, we did predictions, and I had, I think, TSM up there at number 2 with Cloud9. Didn't quite turn out that way, and that's why we watched the LCS.
Yeah, find out who's really putting on the good moves. And so far, it's mandatory cloud, Sycho Sid, Xmithie, Zuna, and BloodWater. These guys had an amazingly well-deserved win, bringing it to late game, the back-and-forth trades that made it happen. I gotta say, man, the 7-3 and 5 Zuna on Tristana was, I think, a big factor there. He had a couple of hairy moments there, right? Imaqtpie won a couple of trades, but he kept up with it and made it in the end.
I still think for Vulcun, that early game that was enabled by Xmithie with his work up top and then his ganks on the middle too, just kind of made it for them because that got the end game oriented team off to an early game start, which they were able to ride. Even though Dignitas made some nice mid game plays, they finally were able to finish it off.
A lot of props to Xmithie for that one. Well played, of course, to Vulcun. Now, we've got to take a short break, but when we return, it's Vulcan's mancloud and Zuna. They're going to join us to talk about their perfect Week 4. Then we're going to break down the biggest plays of the day and lock down the summer standings. This 4th of July edition of the North